Awesome. Well,
I guess we could go longer if Nat's planning to drive, because they're a little bit better about having less sleep than me.
that's fair. But yeah. We'll still aim for like 11.
Yeah.
And if we end up going over, I'll make sure I don't go past 11:30 unless you guys are okay with it. I'll kind of do like a
okay.
check-in.
Okay.
So, but yes. Welcome everybody to Ruins session 19. Bunny's back. What else can I say?
Yeah.
We ended on such a very like a weird note last session. We ended on a freeze frame. Vildraka walked in. She was like, "We're not done." But that all technically didn't happen. That's not canon.
No.
Or is it?
Or is it? Anyways, where we last left off, Bunny very passively pushed past everybody after waking up, made tea, and then served it to everybody in the room. Everybody was very, overfilled with joy because, the person you once thought was dead isn't. But there has to be some sort of whiplash there, right? Someone you once thought was dead, you were actively grieving over. A lot of you cried last night. A lot of you had dreams of, of Bunny, or you prayed to the ether. And now she's back. So where does that sadness go? It doesn't dissipate. Where does that grief go? You're now having to, adjust and pivot to, all this, this overwhelming feeling of, I guess, relief. I guess I'll kind of go through, and ask everybody, kind of what are you guys feeling? We'll start with Thing. Like, now that you know Bunny's alive, what is going through your head?
Thing's mostly feeling a lot of confusion right now. Huh? And they feel really groggy, especially, since they did, cry a lot last night about this. So they all, their eyes feel, heavy, and they feel like maybe they're just in a dream. Thing doesn't really know how to process it, and almost kind of just feels blank in the head.
Okay.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
He doesn't really know what he's looking at.
Gotcha. So there's a lot of, I guess it's one big really question mark.
Processing in his brain. He's like, am I dreaming? Probably. But
right.
He's so shocked that it's he doesn't feel grief or joy. It's just a shock.
Okay. Yeah.
And they're very lost right now.
Gotcha. Okay, then I guess we'll move on to Snapdragon. Snap, what are you feeling now that you see Bunny in front of you? She's fine. Well, as fine as you can be from, coming back from the dead.
A flurry of emotions, mostly kind of pure shock.
Okay.
And it's a mix of joy and shock, and just it's a very weird feeling. It's hard to describe.
Yeah.
When she saw Bunny, she kind of collapsed on the floor. She's still kind of there. She's kind of just paralyzed in her emotions, and she's trying to it's gonna be a second before she recuperates enough where she's gonna probably speak again.
Fair. Sini, what about you? Where's Sini's head at right now, seeing Bunny alive for the first time?
For Sini, the main thing she's feeling is just kind of confusion, understandably, I think.
Yeah.
She hasn't really allowed the emotional shock set in quite yet. She hasn't gotten those feelings yet because she's still processing the fact that this has happened at all. Like, she's processing that, oh, Bonnie is just straight up back from the dead. Like, she's trying to figure out in her head, like, is this even real? Is she dreaming? Like, is this some sort of, fey trick or whatever?
Okay.
She's just kind of lost, and she hasn't allowed herself to feel the relief of her being back quite yet.
Yeah. I mean, that's very fair. Don, I guess I'll swap over to you as well. What is Dawn feeling in this moment?
Oh, geez. Well, I think it's been a big thing of like denial and not truly allowing yourself to believe it
Mm.
in case it turns out to not be real, because that would hurt worse. So it's just, kind of, she's just in the moment right now, not thinking too hard about how she's feeling, just kind of like experiencing it.
Yeah.
But I think she's also kind of like, she's having an existential crisis now because she never really put any stock into like religious shit at
Yeah.
all. And then she like prayed once, and then a person came back from the dead, and she's like, "What the hell?
Yeah.
This ain't supposed to be real."
Yeah.
But she's not southern like that though.
well, this right here ain't supposed to be real. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Oh, literally. Yeah, but
yeah, I mean,
just like
mhm.
her worldview has already been like altered so much by just experiencing life and death and almost losing someone that she cared about for the first time in a long time.
Mhm.
It's just kind of her thoughts and like her worldview are like changing a lot.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like one of the most important people that we haven't asked, is Bunny. Bunny,
Yeah.
You're alive now, and you immediately make your tea. After you get dressed. Have you given yourself a second to look at everybody at all to see their expression, their faces, stuff like that?
Bunny,
at all?
As she sits at this table with all of her friends surrounding her, for the first time in a while for them, she's looking at all of them and she's just absorbing all of their emotions, and you'd see this soft, tired smile cross her face. But behind her eyes, there is this silent determination and ambition that is almost imperceptible unless you really look for it. She's back, and she is not back for no reason. She has a goal, and come hell or high water, it will be achieved.
Okay. As you've handed out your tea, you've sat for a minute, you've asked for your stuff back, which Jot happily obliged. Everyone else has slowly kind of filtered into the room. Gror, Vodraka, Ryloth. So everyone's here. Or at least, everyone that can be here in the moment. A couple of elementals are also just kind of doing some little housework. I know Digby is one of them. And then I always forget the other one's name. but that could be up to Bunny now. But like you know, everyone sees this determination. Bunny, you're looking at everyone. What is Valley doing in this moment? And like, does
Valley-
Bunny notice Valley?
I think for the first time, Valley noticed, or playing two characters, very hard. Bunny noticed Valley pretty quickly after Jot acknowledged her presence. Valley is just completely still. She is on guard. She is very distrusting of the situation. All of her muscles are tensed. It looks like she's ready to go at any moment. Like, she's not here to fuck around.
Yeah. Okay. So you were saying like Bunny notices and everything like that? Or is it more like that Valley is just on guard and there's no like, is Bunny more focused on her friends?
Bunny notices everyone in the room.
Okay.
When she first walked into this room, she kind of disregarded everyone and kind of went into her happy place, which is cooking and making tea and, her routine.
Mm-hmm.
Now that everyone is looking at her, she's taken in the room.
Gotcha. Kind of after, you ask for everything, for all of your stuff back, Jot kind of recedes back to where he was standing, and he was like, so what happened?
Who is he talking to?
He's directed at Bunny.
You? Yeah, I would think.
The one who was revived, I don't know.
Bunny kind of chuckles to herself. Which part? Exactly? A lot happened.
Well, for starters, how are you here right now and not?
Is this really you? Or are you like a ghost or like a
zombie?
spectral or something? Or is it you?
Short answer is Faith.
Oh, right. Yeah.
The longer answer is I made a deal. I get to come back, and I serve the Evergreen.
Oh.
How long will you be back?
I'm sorry, what, Nat?
How long will you be back?
If everything goes to plan, forever.
But like forever, forever.
Well, as long as a natural lifespan will allow.
Right. Okay. Well, that was very generous of the Evergreen.
Yeah.
Do you like owe him your soul or something now, or are you like
Yeah,
just kind of
like
worshipping
you.
him like you
What-
kind of already did? Like,
Is your life
is this,
like
a
contingent
good
on
deal,
him?
or-
Is he gonna like zap your life if you don't do what he says?
Yeah, are you like still Bunny, or are you kind of like?
I mean,
think
what is
she's
he?
her.
Wait, is he like kind of like an archfey? If that's the case,
He's
did he
like-
steal your name or what? Like what?
Are you safe? Is honestly what we're asking. Are you safe?
One thing at a time.
Sorry about that.
Sorry.
I
My
don't
little.
I don't actually know if I sold my soul, but regardless, my soul is bound to him. If I don't do if I don't uphold my end of the bargain. What happens next is up to him. He allowed me
Oh,
home. One could assume he could take that back. I have no intentions of breaking my deal, my bargain,
Mm.
my pact. I was going to do what he's asked of me anyway.
Mm.
So,
Well,
am I safe? I don't think any of us are safe.
amen to that.
You got me there.
But what was it like after you passed?
Almost imperceptibly, whoever is really laser focused in on Bunny, you'd see this quick little glance towards Dawn. It's almost imperceptible. Blink and you'll miss it. It was peaceful. It was beautiful. It was this snow-covered glade. It was magical. There were all these little tiny creatures that were just running about, and that's actually where I met this one. And she kind of scratches the scruff of Nefi's neck.
Oh.
Yeah, Nefi would lift her chin if you're and allow you to scratch it a little bit more.
Yeah, and she does, and she gives her a good scritch. And I talked with the Evergreen, and I asked a lot of questions. And he led me into this treehouse, I guess. And there was this table covered in snow, and he allowed me to see glimpses, snippets of all of you, and how you were doing, and how it was here. And I just... For a while, I didn't allow myself hope. There were these little hints scattered about that death wasn't in the cards for me. And I just couldn't accept it until I was told by him that I had more to do.
Well, he doesn't sound like the sort of entity that would take advantage of your tether to him, at the very least. So, what now? What's the next part of your mission for him? Is it the same? Has it changed?
Now we go to war.
Yeah. Sort of already assumed that after what
That's where we've
happened.
been starting anyway.
Gonna need a bigger army if we're going to war.
This is it. It's us. And the allies that we've gathered along the way. I don't know if I trust anyone else.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some who would oppose Demetrius, but it's a paltry few. And if we were to attempt to gain alliances, we would have to do so very carefully.
No kidding.
You see as kind of like Mazis kind of like reaches in and takes a mug because he wasn't served one.
Bunny put her hand over Maz's and just squeeze it, and then let go.
He smiles. He looks at Bunny. He lets out kind of like a little chortle. It's relief. And he's like, sorry, before we continue, I know you said it was nice. I mean, did you see anybody else there? Was anybody with you? I would like to know that she's safe. That she's okay, maybe?
There's that glance again over to Dawn. Just this, like, almost imperceptible suspicion and distrust. And then her eyes go back to Mazis. It is an incredibly fortressed guise, but those that really know Bunny might be able to catch it. The Hollow is a big place. And while I was there, I didn't see anyone else. It was just me, and I don't know if I would have seen anyone else.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, I don't know about her.
It's okay. I mean, there's probably an afterlife specifically for Git. I don't know. I'm not really big into the religious stuff, so I mean, I'm sure it's possible, right?
Anything's possible, I guess.
Yeah.
I just have to have faith that she's all right.
Yeah.
That's all we can do.
You see, as like, you know, the chatter kind of fades. You see that there's definitely a pause within everybody, but Vodraka kind of steps to the table, and she's like, it's really good to see that you're okay, Bunny. I hope I'm not being too forward, but you said let's go to war. I think it's time that we plan for that. We got the refugees kind of sorted out. Some are gonna go with Miss Klein, and the others are gonna go, I believe, back to the Satyr tribe, if that's still what we're going with.
Yeah, assume so.
Yeah, okay. Then the pressing matter is this. Demetrius is outside of Caldera, right? Baron is using a fleet of guards, Calderan guards, to scour each of the villages for information, people that oppose Demetrius, stuff like that. They're gonna make a whole sweep of the east, or not of the east, but of Aspen, which is the country, by the way. And I don't know if you said you were able to see us, but have we ever thought about the kobolds? Because if they find out that the kobolds are okay and alive, they might kill them.
this is half a in-game question, half not, because time between sessions, I've been getting a little confused about things.
Yeah, that's fair.
Do they have a way of knowing even that the kobolds are defected from Demetrius?
I mean, they haven't
Other than
informed Demetrius. They haven't informed Demetrius in probably about a week.
Yeah, the
So-
chain of command's completely fucked over because we killed their
Well-
leader. So
Yeah, you killed Riot and like half of the command, like Nitra and yeah.
So
like
well,
if they don't assume that they defected, they at least assume that they've been.
they have no
killed.
way of knowing. And I mean,
Yeah.
just because they weren't killed doesn't mean that certainly I think they wouldn't assume that they're no longer allegiant to Demetrius. They could be powerful double agents if we were to go
That's
that
true.
route.
Are they smart enough to be double agents, though?
Well, that could work to our advantage
They-
as well. They're so stupid.
but
They're very obedient.
the thing is,
I'm not trying to insult them. Just I thinking realistically here.
no, I mean that's fair. I think the thing is what we all have to realize, especially right now, is the fact that it can happen. If Baron stumbles upon the kobolds and he realizes that they haven't informed Demetrius of anything, they could be killed, they could be tortured, they could be exactly like the refugees. There is no way of knowing, and can we even afford that risk?
Well, then we have to do something to prevent that. Communicate with them somehow. Either we
Yeah.
utilize them or diffuse the risk somehow.
I mean, the way that
Do
I
we
s-
have do we
Mhm.
have any way of communicating with them? Does anyone have like a spell for that?
I mean, there might be a spell, but I mean, I know Belladonna's going to be here by the end of the day. I mean, we could see if maybe we could go visit, see if they're willing to join the refugees. I mean, either they give up where they're at and go with the refugees, or we need someone to assist them if things go south.
We could harbor them in Klein's Rest, if that's an option. It would take some time, but I do have couriers available. I could get messages to them. I'm not sure how quickly that would be, however.
Yeah. I mean, whatever works. I mean, we could use a courier. I mean, like I said, Belladonna's going to be here soon. So
Well, I mean, Thing made a good point. I'm not sure how helpful they would be as double agents. They have no one leading them.
mhm.
I think for now, our best mode of action would be to harbor them as refugees.
Okay. We'll
How do we know that they won't return to Demetrius?
I don't know. They seem to
I
kind of like
sup-
us, to be honest.
I
mean,
suppose we
some of
don't.
them-
However, they're very subservient. From
Some
what
of
I can
them-
understand. I mean,
Yeah, some
don't
of
know
them might
if-
not be great.
being draconic, I don't know if Snap has any sort of authority on the subject, but from what I've seen, it seems like they go wherever the most profit is, monetarily or just simply in any form. They want a leader. I don't think it matters to them who it is.
I mean,
Yeah.
freedom is priceless. These are
And today-
people who have been encaged symbolically for
Yeah.
their entire lives. They're free now. They will
I suppose.
establish a leadership quickly. I think they understand how bad things were under Demetrius's regime.
I hope you're right.
And even if you're partly incorrect, I'm sure there's some that would be willing to join us.
Yeah. Well, we can even just go there and figure out where they're at and make a plan from there. I mean, it's not set in stone, but I mean, at least we have
Well-
something, right?
Yes, yes. I mean, there's also the matter of Demetrius being away from Caldera.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm no strategist by any sense of the word. I'm a performer. But would this not be a good time to try to catch him unawares? I mean, there must be something we could do to weaken him while he's away like this. Catch him with his pants down.
If I may, I think
Of course.
there are a lot of things that we need to deal with very quickly, but I think the most important is getting that stone. If we get
Well-
the stone before he does, that cuts off all of his power.
What
We have-
insight
we-
do we have on that, though?
Yeah, do we
Everyone
have
is so
That said-
lost
Any
about it.
sort of idea on where it is?
Well,
I mean, we would
that
need
was
some sort of. Yeah,
That was part of my idea. Oh, go ahead. You go ahead.
No. You go. You're good.
I was just gonna say that was sort of my idea. I mean, I imagine he knows more about the stone than we do. I mean, we barely know what it is.
I-
We could maybe go ahead, please.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't mean to interrupt you, Don, but I mean, yeah, I'm sure he has a lot, but I mean, if the only thing that like my dad had was a children's book and then a book on the Aesaith, like how much would Demetrius have? You know?
The fact
Well-
is, Demetrius thinks he knows more than he actually does.
I
His
would
greatest weakness is his hubris.
Yeah,
He thinks he's
I
smarter
can imagine
than he
that's
is.
true. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, what's he doing? Where is he again?
I think he went to go visit the heralds. I believe is what I said.
Okay.
Uh,
I mean, you're right. You're right. I mean, I guess I'm just trying to find a place to start looking. I mean, I assumed he must have something. He's got hundreds of professionals at his disposal, professionals in nearly every field. Maybe there's like a scrap of information we could find. I'm not sure where to start.
I mean, the thing is do we have anything? I mean, I know there's
A
I mean-
constellation.
there's a book. I mean, you have the constellation theory. We have the talisman. Do we have anything
Maybe-
else?
We should start with what we have.
Yeah, let's lay everything that we have out on the table, right? Like, and see where we can go from there. Any information's good information.
The Aesaith, they used to be monks that protected a people called the Aetophians.
Yeah.
The Aetophians were the ones that created or possessed the stone,
Hmm.
and the Aesaith, I suppose, removed it from them.
Hmm.
We actually don't know what.
I mean, it
But
could
this
be.
riddle.
Yeah. Is it possible it's the? I mean, I don't know if there's any remnants of the Aesaith, but could it be them? Someone must be attempting to erase this information. Should
Does
this-
Valley know anything about this?
About the Aesaith?
Yeah, but the Aesaith, the Atophians, this rock.
Just as much as
Frickin'
everybody else, you know.
well,
Uh,
go ahead.
I mean, I guess and
I'm gonna go get a soda.
valid.
All right, Don.
I mean, like I said, yeah, Valley just knows enough to get by, and that's like, I don't think she really wants to know anymore.
No, she doesn't. but
So
maybe
she only,
had some information.
yeah. I mean,
So
the-
this is me asking questions.
mhm.
The Aesaith destroyed the Atophian stone. What was it?
No, nobody destroyed the Atophian stone.
Okay. Oh, it's still alive. It's still alive.
Yeah, it's still
can't be
alive.
alive with the stone.
I don't know
Um,
if alive is correct. We don't really know if it's not correct either, though.
That's fair.
So the Atophian stone protected the Atophians, and the Aesaith were like the protectors of the Atophians.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a way, yes. I mean, you guys do also have a diary as well.
Mhm.
Thing, you have the diary.
Yeah.
I mean, that might give you something, because that gave you the different symbols of the old Aesaith and the new Aesaith, and that I mean, I don't know if Thing would have like flipped through it at all, but I mean, you have
probably flipped through it, but like, I don't think we've really had time to read anything.
yeah. I mean,
Now's the time.
yeah, I was like, now's the time to start.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, but yeah,
I thought I remembered us like reading that and like not getting too much from it.
a lot of it was chicken scratch, though I am gonna be a little bit more lenient because I was a bad DM at the time because I was new.
No, you were never a bad DM. Never.
Valid. So like, if you want to pull it out and try to read it, it's I mean, you can make like a perception or a history check, or like if you have like a language proficiency, I would allow you to fully be able to read it. It's in Sylvan.
Yeah, 'cause I think.
Oh, Thing and Sini both know Sylvan, so that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thing can't read Common very well. That's the one that's like.
Thing is
Thing's not great at Common.
Thing can speak it, just can't read it.
Pretty
That's
much, yeah.
understandable.
I mean, he can read
Illiterate.
some words, but he does not know a lot of like Common writing.
The
Yeah.
literacy is crazy.
Damn. Damn.
Be nice to Thing.
But yeah.
He's
Sorry,
spoken
Thing.
and written Goblin and Sylvan a lot more.
He's
not really had to
bilingual.
read,
That's
you know.
impressive. Trilingual, technically.
It's common. Isn't
Bilingual's
his
just
first
common
language?
for fucking D&D
What's Thing's
characters,
first
though.
language?
Goblin. Probably.
Oh, yeah. So that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But
But yeah, so
Goblins don't have very good access to education.
no,
yeah.
especially in the caves.
In the caves.
The low-income community.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, so I'm assuming just Thing like take out the book to like
Yeah,
to
I'd
read
say
it.
He'd take out, and he'd be honest, and be like, I haven't really read this yet, but I've seen important words mentioned. At least, you know, words that I feel like are important to what we're looking for.
Yeah. Okay, well, you see that Voodrock is like looking at it and she's like, I can't make out
Feeny
a
would also-
word of that.
Sini would be kind of
Sylvan.
leaning over his shoulder,
Hey.
looking at it too.
Huh.
I've
And-
actually been meaning. I don't know if I ever asked her about this, but Voldraka, do you have any idea why your father would have had so many books on the Aesaith? did he ever have like a particular interest in them?
I mean, he always said that he was fascinated, but I
Really?
mean, nothing ever passed that. I mean, he always said that the children's book was specifically made. It's like one of a kind, but
Who made it?
I don't know. It never had an author, or at least none written in the book.
Okay.
You know, it's stupid. But sometimes I like to think it's my mom. You know, just something as like a last gift to me. But
That's nice.
yeah, but this is war. I can't get all sappy and shit.
I didn't mean to.
No, it's it's the hormones.
Oh,
It's
right,
fine.
right.
Yeah, it's fine.
I can't imagine.
I'm gonna do something while this conversation is happening.
Mhm.
But I want to ask, have I ever seen Vadraka express any magic?
No, you have not.
Okay, I'm gonna ritually cast Detect Magic over like 10 minutes while we're having this conversation.
Mhm.
Just to see if I get a ping or a hit.
Okay. So, you know, kind of as you
Oh, I
cast
have
this
that too.
ritual, you, the way that I would
Anybody
describe this is there's not a specific magical energy that pings from her, but you sense that there is a general like arcane, not bubble around her, but kind of like, you know how like there's like a general aura about people, like in general, like
Yeah.
you're like, oh, your aura's blue. You can kind of get a feeling, it's very faint, but it's almost imperceptible, but you can sense that there's a little bit of arcane in there, like a little arcane
Any
magic.
school? Any like definitive school of magic or just
No definitive school of magic. I would say it's just a ping of just pure arcane just magic. There's like there's no school, there's nothing, there's no like abjuration, evocation, there's nothing. You can't get a read on it. It feels though very old. It's imperceptible, but it feels very old.
Does it feel druidic at all?
No,
Okay.
it feels cosmic.
Wonderful. Bunny,
Jesus.
you'd see that Bunny, sort of while this conversation is happening, is sort of silently muttering under her breath, and she's sort of like doing these like hand gestures. And then you see her eyes, the horn and the tail kind of flare. Like a much brighter green, and there's like a more intense glow. And you see she kind of hones in on Vadraka. This might be an odd question to ask. Is there any chance that you're an Aesaith?
I mean, I don't think so.
Your life, have you ever been able to use magic in any way? Manipulate the arcane? Influence nature? Anything?
No, but I mean, when I was little, I used to play with my dad, and he used to say that there was more that I could do than I knew, but I mean, I don't even know what that means, so.
That seems
Oh.
strangely cryptic.
There's,
I've said that before. Yeah.
well, it's odd.
Maybe I'm grasping at straws here, but considering the books, there might be something to this.
Well,
I mean, yeah.
I don't want to jump to conclusion.
I have a particular ability that allows me to see magic where it would otherwise be imperceptible. And you're telling me you've never been able to do magic, that you've never really interacted with magic
No.
as a person, and I see magic surrounding you. And it is old.
What is
So-
that?
What?
I mean, that's great, but what are we gonna do with that?
Yeah,
Yeah, what does that
That's-
mean?
I don't.
That's really vague.
I will put a hand on whatever like religious tome you want me to. I have never interacted with magic. Can you really sense something?
Yeah.
Like from
It's faint, but it is old. It's not it's not like mine. It's not druidic. But there's something odd about it. I don't know.
I mean,
There might
if go ahead.
there could be a possibility of you having natural magic. Not my kind of natural magic, but blood magic. There could be a way to awaken that. I don't think it would be very pleasant.
I don't know if that's an offer, but I already have one, major life decision that, I'm carrying around with me currently that I don't know if I want to do it. I
don't have to do anything that you don't want to do.
I'm not suggesting that we do this. There's no guarantee that anything will even happen, and I don't even
We're
know
just-
how you would awaken
Yeah.
natural abilities.
We
but
don't exactly have a lot of leads, but
Yeah.
that said, we're not forcing you to do anything that you wouldn't be comfortable with, especially considering your current state.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if it was under different circumstances, I might be more willing to agree to figuring it out, but I think we just need to take this one step at a time.
your mother.
Mhm.
Did she pass?
Yeah, she passed, probably a year or two after I was born.
Hmm.
I'm
Well,
sorry to
if
hear that.
my condolences for your loss.
It's fine. I don't remember her. I mean, I've seen a portrait, maybe.
So she may have never had an opportunity. I mean, she would never have had an opportunity to tell you about her lineage.
Yeah, it's possible.
Is there someone close to her that knew her personally that we could ask?
I mean, that would have to be my father, and he's.
Maybe we need to somehow commune with the dead. I mean, it doesn't sound that far-fetched. I mean, Bunny just came back.
I mean, it doesn't, but let's just focus on what's in front of us. What does the journal say? Can you guys decipher it?
We'll try.
Does she like this conversation is? Can I tell whether she feels like this conversation is irrelevant and going nowhere, or is she being intentionally cagey about this?
It's
I mean,
not
I
that
can kind of tell. It seems like she's being intentionally cagey.
she is being intentionally cagey in the sense that
That she's nervous.
No, you're asking her a lot of
Okay.
questions. You revealed that she has magic, maybe, and it's old. And that it could be awakened, and it's stressing her and the baby
A
out.
lot of information.
Yeah,
at
that's
once.
what
It's a lot of
I
information
meant.
to, like, throw at a
Like,
woman.
she's-
If Thing was randomly
stressed
told that
out.
he could actually cast magic and he just doesn't know how to, he'd be like, "What? Fuck you mean?"
Bro, if Sini was like on the end of this, she would be on like the offensive. I feel like she'd be like,
Yeah, so her getting back to this is one, like, she knows her duty. She knows that this is probably not going to go anywhere, but also, like, she knows her history, or at least she thinks she knows her history. What she's telling you is objectively the truth. Her
Okay.
truth. So
Good
if
to
you,
know.
yeah,
It seems like she doesn't know a lot.
she doesn't.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
We
But
gotta talk to the dead people.
yeah.
It's gotta happen.
But is
Oh.
there? We still have the journal to look at.
Yes, point of interest. Am I getting a ping on my detect magic from the journal or from the talisman, like the little necklace thing?
The talisman is, yes, you do get a ping. You know that it is a magic item. The talisman is a talisman of luck.
Eh?
Other than that,
Journal?
the journal has nothing. The journal is just
What
a
did we
journal.
say that the talisman had on it? What was that again? I know this has been discussed.
The talisman, like, oh, it's a, you know, the, like, little peace sign where, like, everything,
Yes, I
Yeah.
know what you're talking about.
yeah, the outline
It was
is
the
essentially
one that-
like, yeah,
We thought it. I don't know. I thought it was maybe connected to
You-
the poem, but
and
it
it
probably
it
isn't.
still might be. Well, they did
But it
say the
was like a
talisman is the
pendant.
key. It literally did say the talisman is
yeah.
the key.
Yeah. I remember
Um,
now.
I'm trying to see if there's a specific check that you can do to, like, really, I guess, an investigation check. If Sini, you and Thing want to do, like, an investigation check on, or a perception
Sure.
check, I
go
guess,
ahead and roll
for
that.
the journal. Zim, you were gonna say something?
Can I, like, ask for the talisman?
Yeah,
I
I think
don't
Sini
have-
has it.
Yeah,
Can I look
Sini.
at
Yeah, go right ahead. Should hand over the talisman.
Thank you.
You say
Um,
perception or investigation?
Either one works, whichever is best.
Oh,
Damn. Okay, so Thing, you can read this journal like there's no fucking tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna. Is it okay if I read what it says? Because I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. That works
Okay.
because I haven't had a chance to read it because I've been listening to what people are saying in our game, you know. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
fair,
really-
that's fair,
I
that's fair.
cannot read and listen. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah. So Thing, kind of as you're flipping through, and Sini, you're looking over his shoulder, so you can also read this. The first page is literally says, "If lost, please return to near rare Feor." And yep, the lady that was
you
killed by
spell that?
kobolds. Yeah, actually, I'll put it in chat.
Thank you.
Yay!
I'll put it in notes.
I love reading.
Maybe.
Do I know how to spell it? That's the problem.
What the?
There we go. This seems to, from what you can gather, be a journal, like, kind of like listing days and what happens on those days. So, like, it'll be like day
Like a
1, day
calendar?
2, not like a calendar, but
a
like
diary.
a
Okay.
like a diary, like fully like a journal. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
best to frame it so that way when I go like, hey, day 1, you're not gonna be like, what the fuck?
No,
And
I understand.
it looks like she didn't write down every day, so you're not like having to like flip through and be like, oh well, I want to skip like day 1, or I want to skip like day 2 through 7. You're kind of giving everything. So day 1, I've decided to keep a record of my research here in this journal for posterity's sake. The Library of the Jade Chalice has sent me on an excursion out east to find any information on the meteorite that created Deathfall and contributed to the arcane surge about 1,000 years ago. I just disembarked on the journey, and I just know Agumok, Murdis, and others are wishing they were here instead.
Okay, those are people.
I do not know much, but I heard Agumok was asked to assist a very prominent diplomat and her husband. I do not know. Anyways, they were heading up north to Formith to investigate some weird famine or other absurdities from what I gathered in the short time we crossed paths. As for Murdis, I believe they went further north to the port on the northeastern tip of Shawai. According to them, some weird goings-on are happening out that way too. I should not worry about them. However, I have my own tasks to complete. I know I should not worry, but I cannot help it. I feel guilty. Out of all 30 members, why choose me? Why not Mara or Sinxi? They were way more qualified than I will ever be. I guess I can't dwell on it much. My superiors chose me, and I have to be okay with that. Guilt will only bring me down. Day 26. Slowly but surely, I am making my way out east. It has been a very plodding excursion. However, I was able to catch a wagon heading through the desert to a port city named Silvermoon. Silvermoon, it sounds like a boring seaside town. I've been all down the west coast. I'm fairly certain I've seen everything. No matter, it is a start, and I will take anything I can get to start this whole process. Day 32. My star, Silvermoon, is not what I expected at all. The city is delicately woven with beautiful red lanterns that bathe the city in a portrait-esque red lighting. I love looking at the streets glistening with all the lights. In the moments when I can, actually sit and relax. I know why Korish sent me all the way out here. I think he knew I needed this after the long research drought I fell into. I will have to thank him profusely when I get back. For now, though, I must begin research scouting. Day 33. I asked around the city to see if any murmurings piqued my interest. I found that there are a lot of local legends about a couple of groups of people who defended a rebellion in order to usurp the control of the ruler of the Apleton Empire approximately 400 years ago. I still have a long way to go to get, all the information together, but I think this is what I'm meant to focus on. Though, I will say, the culinary cuisine of the East is, so far, is marvelous, so maybe that could be something that Jade Chalice looks into in the future. I did hear that Ustrea is going to have their 4th Centennial Aspen Liberation Festival to commemorate the liberation of this and the other 2 countries, so I might need to go investigate and see what the commotion is all about. I have time, though. The festival is not until the beginning of spring. That gives me less than 4 months to get as much research in as I can before I put my time into, research alone. Oh, wait, hold on. That was a typo on my part. But that gives her less than 4 months to put in as much research as she can. So she might as well enjoy herself, is essentially the end of that. Day 51. The last couple of villages held no new information. Atophians and the Aesaith worked together and see. I spent some time in Windborn and Viel's Garden, and they captured the southeastern charm I had envisioned. Windborn is this quaint little village of mostly halflings and dwarves populating it. The town is littered with homes of all sizes, and yet they're all cohesive. All of the people here seem to be very tight-knit, going out of their way to care for anyone and everyone that needs it. Viel's Garden is very different from that. It is just it's just a rustic vineyard and winery, but it holds the same charm as Windborn in a way. They're both very, very charming, but it's nothing to write home about. I am, however, currently in Sacred Keep, and the only thing I can say is that their food is delicious. It's all I think about. I'm not usually a foodie, but the butcher shop and the baker are really quite extravagant. And I must say, the nightlife here is refreshing. There are celebrations after celebrations, like smithing contests and food eating competitions. Those are not really my cup of tea, but it is very intriguing to see people willingly gorge themselves and run the risk of regurgitating all of that food in order to win a prize. I guess it takes all kinds. As fun as this all is, I do plan on staying here for a while to focus on the Atafians and the Aesaith. Day 60. It has been a week or so now in Sacred Keep, and I think the locals are very serious about their preparations for the Aspen Independence Festival in Ustrea. We still have about 3 months until the event, and Felxith, the blacksmith, has been hard at work making weapons and little trinkets for their market stall. I hear too that Soft Song Farms will also have a little stall out that way, and apparently their produce is divine. I do have a little update to the research on the Atafians. It seems like they were an idiosyncratic village of people who, with the help of a stone that emits arcane energy, were able to flourish in a secluded spot somewhere in the region. There are rumors, as well, that a spectral spire appears once every 30 years when there's a minor planetary alignment. According to some of the research Murtis had done on alignments, we're coming up on the next alignment around the end of spring. Maybe I'll get to see it since the festival bleeds into spring. I'll have to let him and Korish know that the research actually was very helpful. Day 77. Okay, I have to write down my findings. The Aesaiths are the ones who helped in the Apleton Civil War. They were given a stone with pure arcane energy by the Atafians, the Atafia Stone, to assist the Aesaith in said war. The stone seems to be a fragment of the meteorite that hit Deathfall and allows the Atafians to seclude themselves because the energy enhances the flora and fauna around it. Now, this is me just grasping at straws, but I think them secluding themselves and holding the stone so close to their community must have led to the creation of the Spectral Spire, right? I feel you do not keep something so sacred to your people so close and not have some sort of altar or spire to worship it. What I still don't comprehend is that the Aesaith were monks, but what were the Atafians? Druids? Sorcerers? Paladins with an oath to the stone? Maybe more research would do me some good. Also, this is a side note, but if the Aesaith and the Atafians worked together, how did they get to one another? Sorry, future me. This might be, this might make more sense for you, so I'll leave it here to be answered later. We skip all the way to day 105. I've not written much here, which is not like me, I know. However, I feel I might be being followed. In my pursuit of knowledge, I have come in contact with a group that has taken up the name of the Aesaith. One of their own, a man named Sax, ran into me and seemed to have a genuine interest in the Atafians and my findings. I realized as we kept speaking to one another, he began to focus on what I knew of the location and became way too assertive for my liking. I decided to break ties, and I've been pursued ever since. I thought at first it was nothing. With me being in Ustrea now, I could justify the big city and people following me as a slight coincidence, if not a little off-putting, but then I started seeing kobolds and guards looking behind corners and in alleyways. I do not know what I've stumbled upon, but maybe I should lay low for a while. It jumps all the way to day 145. These people are relentless. It has been over a month, and I have never experienced anything like this. The festival has started, and I have not been able to enjoy it because I'm being hunted. I think they enjoy it, like it's some sort of sport for them. My life is in danger, and they find joy in the hunt? I tried to lose them in the market crowd, but it did not deter them. I'm laying low in an abandoned library, but I fear that this spot will not be permanent. They will stop at nothing to find me and force me to tell them all I know, or worse, kill me. Lucky for me, this is all in Sylvan, so most people will not understand my writings. And I refuse to tell them anything. If you can read this, and I am to die in the pursuit of this knowledge, please return this book to the Library of the Jade Chalice. These people want the stone for power, and this book will give them a leg up, if they can translate it. You would be doing the country of Aspen a great service by keeping the Atophian stone out of the new Aesaith's hands. And the book ends.
That was a lot of information.
It was a lot of information. If you decide to kind of like flip further through like the book, you notice that the pages get bloodier and bloodier.
That's horrifying.
Yeah.
That's not sanitary.
It's not sanitary. But you now have a lot of information. Not a lot of it is relevant. You don't need to know who the Library of the Jade Chalice is, but you know that Nurare worked for...
But does Valley know what the Jade Chalice is?
Yeah, I would say Valley knows. Valley, what you would know about the Jade... Actually, you know what? Make a history check. Make a history check. Make a history check for me. I'm not gonna give you I'm not gonna give you everything. 23. God damn it. Okay. So, yeah, the Jade Chalice is essentially like an organization of people. It's literally a library where people do research. You would know Korish, maybe, is the leader. Everything that they do is in the pursuit of knowledge. So, like, lending people out. So, like, Murtis going to the north of Shawai, Agumot going to Formith. Like, they are all being, like, lent out for the pursuit of knowledge. It's the reason why Nurare left. It's a very prestigious library out west. I mean, there are 30 people, maybe. So for as prestigious as it is, they are still very selective. I mean, they will let anybody in, but if you can't do the research or you can't do the work, then, I mean, what good are you to the Chalice, like to the library? Other than that, that's all you would know as a client.
Okay.
Wow.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, did Thing read that out loud?
I would assume so.
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay, heard.
But yeah, I mean, you know that the spire's gonna become visible soon, at some point.
Okay.
It'll be at the end of spring, and you're in the middle of it.
Okay.
Can I ask, do I know Korish personally?
The clients do not know. The clients as a whole do not know Korish. You know of him. You have not spoken to him.
Mm.
You also know that he's a centaur. If you need that information.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, when she was referring to Deathfall, is that a location?
Deathfall is a location. Deathfall
okay, I wasn't
is...
sure if it was like an event.
No,
or something.
yeah.
Okay.
Deathfall is a location.
Okay.
It is northeast. It is as it's the north. It's the as far northeast as you can go. That's Deathfall.
Was she saying like that was like a ruins?
No. She was saying that there was a meteorite that hit Deathfall.
Yes. Yeah.
She is thinking that the Atophian stone is a part of that meteorite. Not been confirmed, but that's what she believes.
Okay, did she just leave it there? If it didn't say, then that's fine.
What do you mean?
Like she just found a meteorite there? How did she know? Like, I guess.
She knew
Is
of
it
the
still
meteorite,
there?
like
We wouldn't know that.
she probably wouldn't know that, but she knows that the meteorite hit Deathfall, created what Deathfall is now, because it wasn't
Oh,
originally Deathfall.
I'm with you now.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
It's
she's
an event and a place.
yeah, it's an event and a place. The creation of Deathfall is the event. Deathfall is the place.
So, yeah, that seems important.
Mm-hmm.
Not as important.
But you
Go
also
ahead.
know that the location of the Atofians is within the region.
Yeah.
So
I have. Do I have that spell? I don't think I have that spell. Never mind.
So, I mean, personally, just something I've been wondering for a while. I mean, if the Aesaith were supposed to be monks, I mean, sort of these enlightened, somewhat peaceful people, why are they so obsessed with getting this stone back now in such an aggressive way?
Well, I mean, it sounds like
Eh.
this is not the Aesaith. That there are a new group of people that have taken up the mantle.
Reclaim to the name. Yeah.
tarnished it, if you ask me. This is Vodraco, by the way.
Oh, heard. Understood. I could hear the Voldraka in the voice. So I could tell.
She's also snacking on cookies because I'm snacking on
Yeah.
snacks, not actual cookies,
Well,
but
So
It's the
hungry right now,
it's
I
the
need to go get
pregnancy
snacks or
craving.
something.
it is the pregnancy craving. I'm actually eating nerd clusters right now.
I have cinnamon twist
Oh, those slap. But yeah,
Taco Bell.
I mean, other than that, I mean, you got a little bit more info on places you haven't visited yet, like Windborn and Veal's Garden.
I mean, I'm most concerned with this fucking Jade Chalice place. Cause this bitch obviously knows a lot. Knew a lot. She was like an expert on it.
I mean, she wasn't an expert. She was
She
researching.
wasn't, but she was researching it.
Yeah,
She knows
An expert.
things.
I mean, at
As
this
much
point,
of an it's an extinct, like, I don't want to say race of people, whatever you want to call it.
yeah, but she gets the
and-
murmurings from like the people in the town. So
Which
Okay.
town? I'm sorry, I got a
all
little
of
bit
them.
lost.
She went to
Well, I
Silver
wrote-
Moon. She went to
Windborn.
Sacred Keep, Windborn, Veal's Garden, which isn't a town. It's literally just a vineyard. But like, she's been everywhere.
She's
And-
been around.
So,
Mhm.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Is the diary the same book that the guards took?
Yes, but they couldn't translate it. They were asking you guys questions
Okay.
to see if you
That's
knew
fair.
anything.
I just wanted to make sure it was the same book.
It is the same book. So there are scrawlings of like the new Aesaith design and the old Aesaith design, and the old Aesaith design matches the talisman. You would know that.
Okay.
So, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, with all this information, I mean, I feel like our best place to start looking would either be that, where that spire thing's supposed to be, or in Deathfall.
Yeah, in
mean-
the general area.
I mean, Deathfall's
Well,
too far north. They said in this region, that's another country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I
impact
mean,
of a
we
meteorite.
We
Yeah.
have Belladonna's magical house.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know,
the
can we
impact.
across countries?
I mean, it could, but listen, the impact of a meteorite can shatter into millions of pieces across a wide radius. I mean, it would make a lot of sense if there is just a stone that is here, and that's just the Atofian stone.
Well, if it came from a meteor, who's to say that another part of it didn't break off and there's another one hidden amongst Deathfall somewhere?
I mean, but that's why this shouldn't get into the hands of Demetrius, because if he knows that,
Well, we have no way of knowing if he even knows about this location.
I mean,
So, I mean,
exactly.
next course of action is
Do we know
We
where
need
the,
to get there before him. Go ahead.
do we know where
Sorry.
the tower is supposed to be? Like where it's supposed to happen?
Well, was it by Silver Moon or Sacred Keep? It was one of the two, wasn't it?
It was.
Wasn't it?
I don't think
Go
it was
ahead.
ever stated.
You
Was it
said
not?
It
somewhere
was
in like the vicinity of something. Was it Deathball?
No, it's
I have
not
the
Deathball.
notes. Let me
Deathball is
look.
too north.
I remember you saying you said Spectral Spire.
Yeah, it's
Or
a
the
spectral
Tower
spire.
Yeah.
appears every 30 years
So-
when there's an alignment. I
Yeah.
have notes. Give me
I
a
can
second.
send the PDF as well.
That would help.
I'll send that to notes.
Yeah. it
Every
was
time you
never-
said something, I would like write shit down. I wrote down all the names of the towns and that there's a spectral spire during a mild planetary alignment.
Yeah, it's a minor planetary alignment. I think I said major, and I tried to change it to
Oh.
minor. I mean, in
now I
the
want goldfish.
valid.
Sorry,
There
Kai,
is. I mean, there was something in the children's book that I had that
I have that.
said.
Oh,
Where is it? Let's see. Deep in the forest, where the products of nature are most plentiful, lies a spire of old. The people of the spire live sedentary lives, only leaving their quaint village to assist others in petty squabbles. These people, however, need not for protection, for as the planets and stars align, every last Atophian uses their arcane power to enshroud the ethereal spectral spire, in a natural barrier of flora. Legend has it that the talisman given to the Aesaith have the answer to the true location of the Atophians. The only way to find it, however, is to solve the riddle that I gave you. And I can read
What
that
was
riddle
the
again.
riddle again? Yeah.
It's dots in a line and a point and
line and a
toe.
point and toe.
3 minus 2, and then you'll know.
And then you'll know.
And then it says the
remember
talisman is all
the
you'll
rhyme.
need to locate the spire.
So maybe if we go to this general area, we can find more clues about where exactly to look.
I mean,
So, Owen,
hi.
druids have the ability to cast the spell Locate Object. As a druid, and given the scale of the magic of the
Mm.
Atophian stone, would I know if Locate Object would be effective?
It would not. You would have to know the object to find the object.
Too OP.
Locate Object. Hold on, let me read the spell. I don't disagree with you, I just don't know the full wording.
I also don't know the full wording, but this is my ruling.
Describe your
We
name.
can't just end the campaign right now by finding it
Describe.
instantly.
Well, it's not that powerful. The object has to be within 1,000 feet of you.
Yeah.
Which is not that big of an area.
No, it is not that. I mean, you could try to cast it.
Describe or name an object that is familiar to you. You sense the direction to the object's location as long as that object is within 1,000 feet of you.
Mhm.
Specific objects known to you as long as you've seen it up close within 30 feet at least once. Alternatively, the spell can locate the nearest object of a particular kind, such as a certain kind of apparel, jewelry, tool, or weapon. Can't locate an object if any thickness of lead, even a thin sheet, blocks a direct path between you and the object. So even with that wording, it would not be effective at all.
Can you send that? Actually, I'll look it up.
So
I just want to read it myself so that way I can. Being read at, I guess, doesn't help me. That's not a
it's
dig,
safe
I
to
hope.
assume that this riddle. It's safe to assume the riddle would be like within the borders of the country, right?
It would be within the borders of the country, for sure. Familiar to you. You sense the direction to the object's location as long as the object is within 1,000 feet of you. If the object is in motion, you know the direction of its movements. The spell can locate a specific object known to you as long as you've seen it up close within 30 feet at least once. Alternatively, the spell can locate the nearest object of a particular kind. Tool or furniture, tool or weapon. I mean, I could technically fudge it and say that it would be a weapon or a tool, but I mean, it's a stone. It's a meteorite, or at least
It doesn't have to be one of these.
Yeah.
Such as is like those are the whatever.
I mean, you can try to locate a meteorite.
Piece of a magical meteorite is pretty specific.
Yeah.
Anyway, regardless, we have to know the general location before the spell is even effective.
Yeah.
So, I just wanted to know if I would think that it would be effective.
And
I don't have it prepared, so.
Valid. It would be effective for sure. It might just not be effective now.
Fair.
Because you have no clear idea, no clear direction.
So, okay. Dots in a line, points in a row. 3 minus 2, then you'll know. Okay. What the fuck does that mean? Like an ellipses, cut out the last 2 of the ellipses, it's the first dot. Right?
Frankly, I have no idea.
Looking through the kid's book, is there any section where there seems to be like 3 dots in a line?
Make an investigation check for me.
Okay. I'm trying so hard, you guys. I'm not very smart.
Dude, I've been thinking about this the entire time.
You're smarter than me. I came to the conclusion it must be talking about the planetary alignment. Or a constellation or something.
6.
Can
I have help? Like, could I request help for this?
Yeah, I have the books. So
it wouldn't even help, because it would just be 6. So, whatever. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the book and you don't see anything. I mean,
this is so fun, but this hurts.
Huh?
Middles are very fun. This hurts.
Yeah.
So do y'all not think that it could be describing a planet that... we thought for a second maybe it was a constellation.
We don't know anything about any constellations in this world. That's the problem. I don't have anything to reference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm at disadvantage for everything.
You are at disadvantage for everything.
Okay, so like, looking at the oh fuck, what's the word? The thing.
The book?
The thing.
The child's book?
Not the book. Talisman, thank you.
The talisman.
So I might be completely off course. I have been looking at the map of the world. And like the only thing that like sort of comes to mind is like that giant ravine. Reminds me.
Where? What are you talking? Hold on. Let me
so,
look at the.
Okay.
Is it in notes?
Like there's like yeah, it's in Hometown Hicks.
Oh, Hometown Hicks. Where's the? Oh, is it further down? Like.
Yeah.
Near like Echo's Bluff.
Is that not a ravine?
That is a ravine. That is outside of Aspen.
Oh, is it?
It is outside of Aspen. Yes, it is another country.
Oh shit.
Oh no, not that. Not that. The brown one.
Oh, that's a mountain range. I was not good at drawing a mountain range. Yeah, that's a mountain range. That I mean, you can check. I mean,
it's like okay. Like my thought process, right? And again, I'm probably way off base, but like it kind of reminds me of like, because it has a straight line and it has the 3 dots. But I'm like, what if it's like a settlement?
I think
first settlement.
What we're missing is the 3 minus 2. It's probably something that's obvious once you actually see it. There's something obviously we don't have yet.
I mean,
can I make a history check? And
we
I
have
just
a riddle
wanted...
written out somewhere. By the way,
I'll type it in notes.
I'm not sure.
Holy.
I have it memorized because it rhymes.
Not
Dots
just
in a line and a point in toe. 3 minus 2